We're live.
We're live? I totally try to, help, welcome to the show, the Movie Inspectors, where we make fun of every single movie, like...
You don't always make fun of them.
Well, I make fun of them. And there's the person messing with the camera right now, who doesn't have a description. He is the second main character. And then there's Mom, who is hugging one of our dogs behind the camera, who will also not have a description. I'm Mega Craig Grant, and over to Dustin.
Welcome back to the Movie Inspectors. I'm Inspector Dustin. This is...
I already got introduced.
Inspector G, Bat G,
Don't
Super
make me
G, Bat G versus Super G.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Aw.
All right, so tell me, Grant, are you excited? We've had a couple weeks off here, and now we're getting back into it.
Yeah, it seems like we're always late with these kinds of stuff. We
This
will
time of
never
year.
make a schedule ever again.
No, we're going to be on the schedule now because we have to do our reviews every Wednesday so we can get to what are we leading up to?
Aquaman.
Yep.
Which is conveniently coming out the same weekend as Bumblebee.
Conveniently, so we don't have to watch Bumblebee. No, we might. We'll probably watch both. But, Grant, our movie that we're reviewing today is... What is it?
Batman v Superman. The second
Dawn
film
of
that
Justice.
was the disappointment of a Batman and a dying Superman.
Well,
literally.
spoilers. All right, we'll get to that.
Spoilers! He dies.
So we're doing the second in the DC Extended Universe, or as I like to call it, the DC Film Universe, or DCFU Universe.
Or DC EU?
It's DCEU, yeah. Daddy was being crass. But
It's okay, especially with the next film.
yeah, it's the next one. But let's say, so we started off with Man of Steel. That was the beginning of the DC universe, and now we go right into Batman versus Superman. This is the second film, and in this film, we go straight to the mega conflict: Batman versus Superman. The two titans of the DC universe, two most popular, fighting at the beginning of their relationship.
Yeah, which is weird. I sort of wish they had one movie of Batman before they did this.
Yeah.
Because then it would have fleshed out the character. Because newcomers who haven't read the comic books, they make this Batman look a little bit like a jerk.
Yeah.
So he sort of looks like a jerk. I do like that suit, though. I do like that they finally have the white eyelids.
So yeah,
We've never gotten that in a live action adaptation. Besides that one scene in The Dark Knight where he used the thing where he was able to tell where the people were, the sonar thing.
Yeah.
But then again, that looked super weird and you barely even saw it was him on it. Most of the time it was just that there was like just his eyes there. And no, it's funny.
What?
This came from a Batman tale, and Batman: The Dark Knight Part 2. In both the adaptations, he beats the absolute out of Superman, and here, heck, in the comic book, he murders Superman.
Yeah. So we're going kind of into what happens in the comics. See, this is based on the Dark Knight trilogies written by Frank Miller. That came out in the 80s.
got a two-part animated series.
Yeah.
One of them, which conveniently had like the darkest Batman ever. Like in Part 2, I don't want to spoil it. Well, sort of a little bit of a spoiler, but this happens at the very beginning of the movie. Batman throws 3 batarangs, hitting Joker in the eye, the shoulder, and this part of the chest. I don't even know how he survived that.
That's a whole different film.
Blood everywhere.
But that doesn't happen in this film. Joker doesn't appear in this film. But this is based on the Frank Miller comic, at least the battle scenes. But it really gets to be kind of a mess. They throw everything into this stew.
It's like, have you ever been to those Thanksgivings where like I can sort of describe movies, this is the weird part of me, through Thanksgiving. This movie is like mashed potatoes. It's all mashed up and the story's all confusing. And eventually you don't even know what's going on anymore. Like, I forgot what happened halfway through the movie. I'm not joking. Okay, I did joke a little bit, but I sort of got lost near the end. Like, wait, what? He's dead? Oh, now, wait, how is his body there twice?
So, we'll talk about that in a second, but let's talk about the characters. We got Henry Cavill returning as Superman. Grant, what do you think of this different Superman than in Man of Steel?
Well, I don't know. I think that they overused the whole arc of him being like a bad guy. If you really want a good version of Superman, basically sort of like having this hard war between good and bad and nearly almost turning to the bad side in rage, then just play the Injustice game. That version is entire of Superman weird arc of trying not to turn good or bad is entirely better in Injustice.
I thought it was kind of interesting what they were trying to say here, that if Superman existed, is how responsible for the aftermath of his reign of trying to be good, is he responsible for, since he is doing good, but if bad happens because of the good that he did, like buildings collapsing or stuff like that, is he responsible for this? I thought that was a neat concept. I don't think that they pulled it off very well, though. I don't think they pulled it.
If you want that sort of, then, even though it came out years later, you should just watch Civil War. That has a better responsibility thing.
And this movie introduced
Batman.
Ben Affleck as Batman, otherwise known as Batfleck. But
otherwise known as, a lot of people thought that he was going to quit, and yet he didn't.
Not yet. We don't know. Maybe by the time this podcast is over.
Yeah, but remember when Justice League, when like they did the talk about Justice League, where they like a lot of people like, since he like said that after like mentioned maybe quitting, that everybody's like, he's gonna quit. They're like, nope, this is the best big thing in my life. I am not gonna quit until they reboot.
If they reboot. And we still don't know, because we don't have a Justice League 2 on the schedule. But what did you think of Ben Affleck as Batman?
You see, it really depends. There's two sides. Mecha Suit, which is based off of the Dark Knight thing, again, because in the animated films, in part 2, he actually wears that and fights Superman.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It really depends. If you want a modern Batman that's like a Batman that has greater villains, in my opinion, then you can go to the Dark Knight trilogy. I don't mean the comic books, I mean the other live action.
The ones that we reviewed. Look at our videos. They're in our videos.
Wow, you don't have to be such a... But if you want to... Well, there's he wears another suit in this movie that if you're looking for a comic nostalgia Batman that is most like the comic version, then you would probably like this version better. This version is the closest to the comics besides, back during the old age with the old Batman movies. Those were more like the comics. But this one is the closest live action to the comic movies we've had in years.
Yeah. So
like
I liked the Batman. They went with an older Batman. This is like a Batman at the end of his career. We didn't see the origin of Batman, although there was that in the credits. In the credits, right?
No, not the credits. Actually,
the beginning credits. The beginning credits. It was real quick, but we see this is a Batman at the end of his career. And this is where I think the DC Universe missed its chance. They shouldn't have scrapped the Nolan trilogies. They should have based this on the Nolan trilogies and maybe had Batman come back because of Superman. But they didn't do that. They tried to do a whole new Batman. And I think you're right, Grant, where you said they should have done a movie first, before a Batman movie first before they tried this. I think you're right. They should have, but they didn't, and they tried to rush it too quickly. And so we got I thought Ben Affleck's performance, especially his performances as Bruce Wayne, were amazing.
Sort of like of how Tom Hardy really tried to be the character in Venom, even though the rest of the character cast didn't really care that much.
Well,
they just wanted to get paid.
True Squad, laid it down.
I'm laying down all my cards here. Well, and before you switch to Wonder Woman,
We're just gonna leave her up there.
I do see another thing for Batman. Since this is an older Batman, I know, like, maybe after the Batman trilogy, we could have one of two things happen. One, if you've ever seen that episode of Brave and Beyond, let me sort of explain. I don't remember what it's called, though. I think it's The Night of the Future or something. Joker dies, which could be really good for the DC Universe. Our Joker sort of sucks. And he decides to retire. Have a son with Catwoman, which they haven't even introduced yet. And Nightwing, which I'm pretty sure is going to be in the trilogy, becomes Batman.
Are you describing yet another movie besides this one?
No, this is a TV show. And they could really go in that direction, just have him quit being Batman and, like, either do Batman Beyond.
Grant hates this movie so much, he will talk about every other movie besides this one.
I'm just saying, there is still potential for this character. It's not like this character, nothing good can happen.
That's true.
He can retire and we could get a Batman Beyond or something else, I don't know.
So we're moving on to Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I think she was a standout. Yeah, I agree.
She's the best part of that movie. Which is sad. Because she's the main reason we walked into this movie theater, which ended up barely happening, was that Batman was going to fight Superman.
Right. Well, it was a pretty epic fight.
It was, but I don't feel like the movie really made that its main point, even though that's what the movie is literally called. It's like calling your movie Monsters Attack, and yet the monsters attack in, like, the middle, so, like, the beginning and end is like, wait, what is this again?
There was a lot of chock full into this movie. I do think Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman was a very big surprise for me, because I've seen her in other films and I thought she was kind of wooden, but in this film and in her subsequent movie, she was excellent. And I think she...
Says the one rubbing eye.
I think she is, obviously very well fitted for Wonder Woman. Very well. She acted very well, and I'm very happy with her. But she's a small part of this movie, and arguably shouldn't have even been in this movie.
Honestly, yes, I think the whole... spoilers, Doomsday, Wonder Woman stuff should have just been scrapped, and we should have just focused on what was important, which was Batman fighting Superman, and the whole rival stuff. And there's Lex.
There's our Lex Luthor. I forgot the name of the actor.
And I do want to say this.
Yeah.
I'm sort of sad, because there was, back before this movie was a thing, they were going to make a Batman vs. Superman movie to start off a universe where it would also have a Joker. And I'm sad that, and Lex Luthor, and I'm sort of sad because this Lex Luthor, you know of how sometimes it could be good to stray away from the comics? There's like a breaking point where if you stray too much away from the comics, it becomes this annoying character. He is nothing like Lex Luthor. in anything. Even in Justice, which had him be a good guy, spoilers, he was more Lex Luthor-y. Heck, he doesn't even have a black suit. He has a white suit.
Yeah, in this shot anyways. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of this version of Lex Luthor. I thought he was cartoonish. I think he chewed up all the sets, which is probably why the budget on the movie was so high. He just was all over the place. The rumor is that this actor created this character for another character that he ended up not getting, and so he told the director, "I'll do this character as this, but as this wild, crazy."
He makes more sense as a Joker when he's old as joke stuff. And honestly, have you ever seen that meme of like that person who was like that Snoop? I think it was like a Snoop Dogg, where it was like the first thing he's like this, and then the second thing this. I don't know. It's a weird meme. Just I can imagine that in my head, but with a more comical Lex Luthor. They're like, and then this one, they're like, oh yeah, sure. Even though that's nothing like the character, yeah, let's do it.
Got that, folks? Good. Moving on.
Only memes people who have seen that meme would understand.
Amy Adams as Lois Lane returned. What did you think of her?
Well, I don't know. They made her as like this plot point where like if you didn't see the movie, there's this weird time thing where apparently Batman in the future kills her, and then that turns Superman to become evil. So she becomes sort of like a Princess Peach in a sense, except for she actually does stuff.
Kinda. All she really did was go hide the Krypton spear and then get trapped underneath the water that Superman had to save her.
Well, he is Superman.
Yes.
He says it later. He gets speared by a rock creature. What the frick is this?
And then we got Jeremy Irons as Batman.
I think that it's because I don't think
not Batman. It's Alfred.
I don't think is that the Batman suit that he wears later on in the movie.
I think so.
But I don't know. It looks a little bit too small. Maybe this could be a future Batman suit.
Maybe.
That would be really cool. Like if they reference Batman Beyond like this, but not actually have it be Batman Beyond. They could reference it.
I really liked him as Alfred. I thought he was more of a partner as Alfred than any of the Alfreds we've seen, including Michael Caine in the Nolanverse. He not only helped him on his missions, but he was integral in making the tech and stuff like that. So I really liked him.
He also delivered that line that had a sort of a main part in the movie of how I think it was sort of like when Peter Gamby in the comic book said that a suit doesn't make the man, what the events around him made it, where they said in the trailer
about how Batman was devolving into anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just sort of a reference to Son of Batman when he's like, you have to control your vengeance, except for if it was Alfred telling that to Batman.
So now we're going to start talking about scenes from the movie. And this was the best. Right here, I wanted to talk about this moment where they meet for the first time. Where Superman beats up the Batmobile, rips the doors off, and Batman just stands up and is like, "What, son? You want some of this?"
Everybody, I'm pretty sure, everybody that saw the trailer is like, "Oh my gosh! Oh!" Except for, there is one problem with this scene.
Yeah.
Spoilers! This could have been a great start to the fight, but it doesn't start the fight.
Well, Batman's not ready to fight him. He doesn't even have his mech suit on.
After that, he's like, "Oh crap," and just runs away. Even though that could have been a cool shot to start off the fight. They started trying to punch each other.
But Superman left him and said, "You retire now," and he didn't retire, obviously.
But then that would be hard to retire. And then there's this scene.
Grant wanted to talk about this little flash forward thing that we got. Grant,
why don't you talk about it? Flash paradox except for... Well, it actually is pretty much the same, except for time doesn't get broken and it ends up being Batman's father.
Right. So what do you think about this? Explain to the audience what this was.
Let me explain. Batman's sitting in a chair, he's thinking, and then he sees this. I guess the Flash, who later comes up after it, says, "Don't kill Lois Lane!" So, shows him this. Basically, it shows a future where he kills Lois Lane.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically shows of how somehow Superman turned this place into a hellhole. And basically, there's two warring factions. Think of this like as the American Revolution. There's Batman, which is a bunch of Batman soldiers, and Superman was a bunch of Superman soldiers. And they all fight. Batman gets captured. And just, I don't know. Then the flashback ends. This could have been a really great movie. I would have wanted this. I would have said that.
The apocalypse version. The apocalypse version.
Yeah, like maybe we could get like an alternate, like you know how there's like a main DCU line. Like let's say they do like a spin-off where it's like an alternate universe where this happens and Flash never intervenes. Because this could have been a really cool movie. A really cool one.
Of course, in this movie, at the end, Lex Luthor tricks Superman into fighting Batman, and then when they decide not to fight each other because of the "why'd you say that name?" Martha scene, which is the stupidest thing in all the movies. You know what? Let's talk about this Martha thing. That was the stupidest thing ever. Because Batman and Superman were fighting. Batman was about to kill Superman, and then he finds out that Superman's his mother's has the same name, and that's why he decided not to stab him with a spear. That's ridiculous.
That's stupid. Besides, early in the film, he was like, he said that if there's even a 1% chance of Superman being our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute possibility. And for him to just, quit the fact about even if there's a 1% chance of him being a villain, kill him, because his mother's name has the same name. Also, I'm pretty sure that might actually be a mistake. Like, the comic book people didn't realize that they gave Batman's mother and Superman's mother the same name. Like, I'm pretty sure that was on accident. There's no way they gave them both the same way on purpose.
Definitely wasn't on purpose.
And they ended up putting that in a plot point, which I guess is good for them.
But anyway, so when Batman and Superman decide not to fight, Lex Luthor rolls out Doomsday here.
With some convenient science.
Yeah, kind of science. This whole thing about...
Krypton science.
It's not Doomsday. Is it Doomsday? Yeah, I think is the name Doomsday? Yeah.
Yeah, that's Doomsday.
Yeah. And...
it's not Darkseid. We might get that later.
Darkseid is part of Justice League, at least Justice League 1. So, yeah, this guy, again, it was like the movie, we had already thought we got to the end, and then this guy shows up. And that happens in movies, but it just seemed like overkill, didn't it?
Yeah, like, I can literally describe this movie in, like, Batman, Alfred, Superman's a bad guy, some judge stuff, boom, boom, boom. Well, let's fight, okay. Oh, I better mix up some random stuff. Oh, okay. Darkseid's, Doomsday's made. Okay, let's fight him. They win. Doomsday dies. Superman dies. Finn. You could literally make this movie like a 5-minute parody. Like, its entire plot can be shortened down into 5 minutes, and they try to stretch it on for like 2 hours in it. And you can really see of how they like try to fill it with stuff that really just doesn't make it work. Like, they're basically trying to stretch it to its limits and then try to fix it up so that people won't get bored halfway through. And a lot of people got bored halfway through.
That's right. And it just seemed like, again, it was just too much. It was like, first we throw in Flash and Wonder Woman and Lex Luthor.
And then all those things of all the other Justice League members.
A little vignette. And that was small stuff, but I don't know. It just didn't seem like we needed a big bad monster. And Doomsday is such a big integral part to the Superman character, because he does kill him in the comics as well.
And also
seems
when
like a
that
waste.
2-part animated film comes out called Death of Superman.
Yeah. Gray knows about all this stuff. I'll tell you.
I know about all the crap.
So I wanted to talk about this because I actually think this was kind of a neat little retconning.
I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird. Batman was here at this scene. He walks through what seems to be the same rubble-ish area that they save a guy in Superman from. And it's just weird that, oh, he's here. Oh, because I guess like they think that they could get away from it from the fact that, oh, it's a scene, there's a lot of people. They won't notice if we, in the next film, sneak in the fact that, oh, Bruce Wayne was here.
Well, they retconned it in, and I actually thought that was kind of cool. I liked that they retconned him in and gave him...
I like retcons.
What are you doing? Did you just scratch your face with your foot?
Maybe. Listen, I have dandruff. I need to find ways.
You don't have dandruff. All right.
I know.
Great. You're sharing this with everybody. You can't cut it. It's live. It's out there now. Anyways. I liked that they retconned him in. They gave Bruce Wayne a reason to hate Superman, or distrust him at least. I thought this had potential. They threw it away by putting too much stuff into the movie. But boy, if they had developed this for a whole movie, and then we did Batman vs. Superman, that would have been great.
Except for it would have been sort of boring to see.
Well, I'm just saying developing this side of Batman, this vengeance, and maybe had it work into another movie or something like that. That would have been cool.
Yeah, also, before you click that button, there is one thing I want to say. Batman sort of ends up... If you've ever seen this weird logo Batman movie, yeah. Batman's like fighting a bunch of Batman villains at a museum, and Superman...
This is now movie 10 besides this movie that we're talking about.
Shut up. It's sort of like it. Batman ends up being basically the same. And then Superman comes out and basically stops them all, and then he's like, hey, want to join our league? And then like Batman's like, no. That's basically him the entire movie. No,
that's true.
No.
All right. Oh, was
well,
that the end of the slideshow?
And later, what the heck?
So, that was the end of the slideshow. Oh, how'd that happen? All right.
You don't see it!
No. So, Grant, why don't you give him some final thoughts of Batman vs. Superman before we go to our What's Up Next?
This movie, when I want to say this, a bunch of the Batman movies this is the film you want, but it's not the one you deserve. By having this really cool trailer of a really cool film and then just throwing away and giving you a garbage film instead. It's like, have you ever seen that? And you know that quote where it's like, Batman's the hero that they deserve, but not the one they need. They're basically doing that, where it's like, okay, what's the least we can do to pass by? So they're giving us really garbage movies, and eventually it's going to cause to their downfall.
I agree. We're having a little trouble reconnecting here. We're going to try to reconnect so we can watch. Oh, there it is. Okay. Reconnecting. So now we're going on. I liked Batman vs. Superman. I did not love it. I didn't hate it as much as I hated the next film we're about to watch. Actually, I didn't even hate that one too. I kind of like this one, but Batman vs. Superman was a little bit of a mess plot-wise. It could have been better. I think they could have recovered from it a little bit better if Justice League, which we'll get to, was not too as bad as it was. But I enjoyed watching it again. I didn't hate it. I think some of the things were really good. The action was really good. Some of the cinematography was really good. Wonder Woman was very beautiful and very good.
Don't worry. Don't stop. Your political thing is getting through.
What? I'm going to beat... After... This might be the last movie, Inspector with Grant. I'm going to replace him. He's going to be replaced with Karma.
Karma heard that.
All right, but we're going to watch the What's Up Next, which is the next film in the DCEU.
Wait, this has 8,600.
8 million. 86 million.
It basically it has like more views than all our YouTube videos combined. How are you?
I really love this trailer. It's the best part of the movie is this trailer.
Worst of the worst.
I thought Will Smith was okay. I was really, really looking forward to this movie.
Deadshot shoots people. He's a crocodile. He eats people. Burns people. You're possessed by a witch. She's just crazy.
Yeah, he just described all the characters.
The voices. I'm kidding. That's not what they really said.
This is the deal. You're going somewhere very bad. Do something that'll get you killed. Still save the world.
I guess, even though we're bad guys. She only be.
Show you my toys.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, he actually had his entire trailer to himself, and he only had 5 minutes in the movie. Oh yeah, ghost person. You serious? Worst heroes ever.
I love this music, this trailer. I loved this trailer. I really hated that.
This is another DC movie that's a trailer.
What the hell's wrong with you people?
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
Like, I feel like most movies can be this that DC describes. They give them really good trailers.
Yeah,
and then they don't live up to the expectation.
Yeah, it's true. So, Grant, Suicide Squad, quick thought on what it is. What are you excited about watching it at all?
No.
I am. I don't know. I like.
How could you? How could you?
It could be okay. I mean, but it wasn't okay. I mean, I liked it when I first watched it. It did not hold up on a second view. I remember when we watched it, when we got the DVD of it, it was not as good. But we're going to watch it this Sunday and then be back here next Wednesday to review it.
It's like it's like that movie, like you can, after the second time, you're allowed to poke fun at it.
Well, and I'm sure True Squad will have lots to say. So are there any questions? No, I don't have any questions, but your Aunt Capri's been on here talking about that you've been giving flavor text. I don't know what it means either. And Lex Luthor was Jesse Eisenberg. That's Heather told us. That was the name of the actor, Jesse Eisenberg. So, all right. Well, we're done with Batman vs. Superman, and we're looking forward to Suicide Squad. We'll be here next Wednesday reviewing Suicide Squad. And then after that, Justice League on the Wednesday after that to get ready for Aquaman on December 21st. And in between that time, Into the Spider-Verse is going to come out, and I'm sure we're going to do a quick review about that.
Yay!
That's the one we're really excited about. And as sooner or later, we're hearing that an Avengers 4 trailer is going to drop, and I'm sure we'll do a live reaction
When
to that.
is it going to drop?
It needs to come soon. All right.
It needs to come smooth. People saying that it was going to come today, yesterday.
Yeah, they did. It didn't work out. We were
to
looking
our
forward to it.
knowledge, it's not here.
Probably later this month. All right. Goodbye.